So the phase, possession to advance. So what is that? I think it's important to start with that definition for us. So the possession to advance phase, it's basically the first part of it is for us where we're looking to advance possession against the opponent by breaking the opponent's first line. So in this image, you can see if the first line is with two players, so we're looking to break the first line, and then we're looking to engage the second line. So obviously you could go around the line, we could go through the line, you can go over the line, of course, but we're looking to basically break this first line of pressure, and then can we engage the second line, this midfield line. By engaging that second line, we're looking to create positional and individual superiority that we talked about. And by doing that, then we're looking to get players either behind facing forward behind the opponent's back line where they're into goal. If we can't do that, can we get them in positions where they're facing forward and they're between the back line and the midfield line into positions where we think they can be really creative and unbalance the opposition. So that's kind of the objectives and the definition of what this phase of possession to advance is. So within this phase, then we have this principle of creating numerical superiority against a line of two forwards that are pressing. And then we have these 4 game cues that we've picked up from the game that we think can be solutions to the problem. That 4-4, that could be in a 4-4-2. That could be a 4-2-3-1 if the number 10 becomes more aggressive. But it's basically we're looking at it when it becomes a line of two forwards then pressing the ball in that first line. So that's kind of what we're playing against. And again, it's kind of becoming quite a common defensive structure in the modern game. So within that, then here's some solutions that we think then playing out against this line of 2 forwards, this first line. So we have our game cues. So the first game cue is we look to create this +1, so 3 versus 2. And then we talk about a midfielder being behind the forward line. So creating this triangle. So what that can look like is our first team. So that triangle again. So distance to support, receiving angle to play forward, and the ability to disrupt the next line. Still work on the finishing part. So some kind of situational references. The highest level. This is kind of a translating example from this season with our second team. So here the recognition behind the line, ability to face forward, and his ability to engage the next line and create that space. The next game cue, the second one, is having a midfielder drop in. So the rotation, the movements of the midfield players. So we ask one midfielder to drop in, and we create a 3 versus 2. On our development side again, so our midfielders dropped in. Just create that 3 versus 2 by being in that position then, and affecting these 2. The space is the ability to go around the line of the 2 to break that line. Now we can engage the midfield line, create that extra play, that overload, that positional superiority between the lines. So again, he's dropped in, 3 versus 2, the ability to break the first line by going around it, engaging that midfield line, that allows the fullback to get higher, creating that positional superiority, receiving between the lines. What's really interesting, I think, in this clip is one of the main things we talk about is this kind of minimal width. So when you drop in as the 3, we talk to the centre backs using the width of the box as a reference point for them, that minimal width, because the wider they go out, the passing options become more restricted. So trying to keep this minimal width where they can still go around the line of the 2, but without going wide enough that they're affecting the passing options and limiting their options in possession. And again, now the recognition of the fullback, as you can see, He's able to break the line. That allows the fullback to get higher. Then we create that positional superiority between the lines. So again, you can see the rotations then as the centre back, he breaks the line, he engages the next line. So at this point, somebody steps out from the line to create the numbers up now. And then you can see the ability then to unbalance. Just this last clip is a good example. A lot of the midfielders, sometimes, particularly our younger players, when they come in and we've created this free, and then sometimes when they drop in, the awareness of space, the ability to hit that diagonal ball, to create that unbalancing. We've got the players here to unbalance the back line. So seeing the furthest pass, ability, the awareness of space by dropping in and seeing that pass, can he add that to his game? And in this situation, he didn't see that. We lost that situation where we could have potentially unbalanced the opponent. So the third one, game cue, we talk about the 3 versus 2. This one is the midfielder going into the half space. So the half space is the space that we talk about is to the outside of the line of the 2.